that the timing of the arm raise for me is like one of the biggest misconceptions in youth sports, because what happens with instructors at a young age, people don't throw strikes. They think about get the hand out, get the arm out on time, give yourself more time, when in reality, I believe that does the opposite for people. So when you think about on time, the body actually moves slower, which is a movement that we do not want. The timing of the arm raise is going to affect the initiation of when the trunk rotates, and that's going to affect the pushiness of the arm. So if we anchor down with the front foot and our trunk is already going, then obviously our arm doesn't have that ability to pull the rotational energy through. Okay, so there, just to give you some more context, and we'll dive into the screening. There's this big study that I think just came out, and they're looking at like the lowest hanging fruits from the highest velocity throwers and like the lower velocity throwers. And the biggest thing that we saw was that the hardest throwers have the ability to still remain in retraction at the point of which they anchor down. All right. So just to give you that kind of visual there on why that's important is obviously you want to maintain the trunk posture at neutral until that point of which we anchor down. So I'm going to start with Bueller. This is just a very simple like open side delivery that you can see what I'm talking about here. Now descending from leg lift, and you can tell you already hit it in, with the email of the timing of when the arm like actually flips up. That's what I call like the velocity enhancing move, is when that hand flips up above the elbow and then that foot anchors down, right? So that movement right there, so you can see the foot kind of not connected to the ground yet, and then boom, anchoring down. You typically see like calf contraction, that's anchor point, and then that hand flips up. So the trunk's not going to initiate rotation until that hand is flipped up. Like that's how smart and adaptable and how much the body is organized. It can't, like the trunk cannot stabilize through space until this is in a position to then initiate that rotation. So obviously the opposite effect would be late, when you're late, and that's where you see a lot of guys that have that elbow issue, because then they're having to flip up when they're already anchored down into the ground, which obviously puts a lot of stress on the elbow. When we have a slower tempo like this, things are going to just start kind of moving at a slower rate. Okay. This is what I see a lot of times when we talk about like early arm raise or early trunk rotation. It's more so targeted towards the guys that do have somewhat of a slower first move, slower initial move. Okay. So some of the things that we can start working towards, and again, I'm not saying to drastically change it, but even in drill progressions and whatnot, we can start incorporating a higher rate of acceleration, a higher, a more tempo in that initial move. I believe that the feet match the hands and the hands match the feet. Whatever that lead foot moves at, whatever tempo that moves at, the hand's gonna essentially try to match that. So this would be a front side trunk stability of why the glove side into extension now starts to pull. So we can work towards like the stability piece of it. You'll see a bunch of stuff in the report for it. But what we can start doing is we can like start overloading the glove. So we can throw like a 2-pound like weighted ball, 2-pound counterbalance. So we give him that sense of stability with that front side to then clean up those patterns. So then we can start obtaining like these motor controls, right? So it's like we want to do as many repetitions for it to become motor pattern. Okay. It means to like identify, like personalize the delivery for the individual, looking at the arm action in and of itself. So if his arm action is simple and it's separate midline up, then we can work towards obtaining higher rate of initial move forward momentum, getting his body to start shifting forward as he descends from leg lift or even ascends from leg lift. Typically with guys that like have an arm action that dips down and then back and then out, those are like what I would call over complex arm pass that we actually need to buy a little bit more time with the body. But in this particular case with Will, we're doing the opposite. We're trying to kill time. So we kill time by increasing the body's forward momentum, and even kill time by maybe even delaying when he separates his hands. So you see how he separates his hands, and this isn't wrong or right. This is just like a personalized kind of piece to all of this. All right, dudes, Robby Rowe here. Thank you for watching that video. If you're interested in booking your own mechanical analysis, you can click that link right there. Also tell you a little bit about the service and what it entails. Hit that link right there. Subscribe, please. You can also check out that video right there, which is related to the video that you just watched if you want to get some more context on that. All right, guys. Much love. God bless. Till next time. See ya.
Strike three! You're out!